Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice, where last episode Apollo had to confront a terrible reality, as the only way Amara could be on the scene is if she left in the body of Dhurke Ahlbi. Found inside the sarcophagus by Emma Skye, it is confirmed, and after his resolve being shaken, remembering the words of his dead foster father, he is ready to proceed with the case once again.
Defense, if you are ready to proceed, I would first have you answer this. Do you believe the accused's death will impact what we know about this case?
Yes, and I believe that I can explain everything now.
Very well. Your explanation, please.
Dhurke entered the tomb at 3 PM, the time the hostage exchange was to take place. Or rather, Dhurke, as channeled by Miss Faye, did. Now, by the time he entered the tomb at 3 PM, Minister Inga was already dead. I say that because we know the minister was murdered at 2 PM. But there was someone else in there. This person was already hiding in the tomb, waiting to channel Dhurke in place of Miss Faye. Let's go over. That's probably why she was tired as well, because he spent days controlling. So this time it's straight to Amara rather than Naina. One and the same, I'm sure I could present either. It was you, wasn't it? The fact of the matter is, Queen Amara killed Minister Inga at 2 PM. Mister would have done fine. She then went to his private quarters and channeled his spirit. The minister, thinking he was going to be late, hurried to the tomb for the hostage exchange. But once in the tomb, Queen Amara stopped channeling Minister Inga and hid herself. Then, when Dhurke entered at 3 PM, she snuck up from behind and forcibly drove Dhurke's spirit out of Miss Faye's body. Drove his spirit out of her body. Impossible.
Objection!
Nope, we know stuff about this. Actually, there is a way to do that. With a Magatama of parting, that is. Using one, anyone could drive a spirit out of a person's body, even if it refused to leave. Are you telling me that the extra pale brown Magatama in the tomb was... That it was? That's right, Prosecutor Samadi. And you've seen one in action before. They lose their luster, do they? You saw how the glowing red Magatama sent the High Priest back to the Twilight Realm. And how it turned a spent, pale brown afterwards. I didn't notice that. In other words, the brown Magatama found in the tomb looks that way because its power had been used up in pushing Dhurke's spirit out of Miss Faye's body, right? I probably passed out as soon as Dhurke's spirit left my body. I was exhausted after channeling him for so long after all. After that, Queen Amara must have dressed Miss Faye in her usual outfit and tied her up. I'm not sure where she got the outfit, but we can assume she had it all planned out. Then Queen Amara must have changed into Dhurke's clothes, smeared blood onto them, picked up the knife and channeled Dhurke's spirit. That's how she made it look like Dhurke had committed the crime. And that's how she escaped, right under our noses. Ha! I don't know, Apollo. The whole thing still seems a bit far-fetched. Dhurke, what was going through your mind while all this was unfolding? I'd like to point out nothing tells us what killed Inga in all of that, though. So ultimately, it was all for naught. Who said that? You? Nia? Those dreams of revolution Dhurke was always spouting. They placed nothing but false hope in the minds of the people. And in the end, they were simply fantasies. Nayuda, how can you? Karma has spoken. The dream of revolution has withered on the vine. Its fate is sealed. The other insurgents will soon wake from their shattered dreams. No, Dhurke's dream can't die like this. I'm not going to sit back and let that happen. I can't, and I won't. Nayuda, don't forget that Dhurke's been proven innocent. His name is no longer tainted by the charge of murder. Now the rebels and their sympathizers who have been calling for his release can't be charged with abetting the accused. So the revolution is far from over. It's only just begun.
Objection.
No, Dhurke has not yet been proven innocent. You have merely indicated the possibility of his innocence. What do you mean? Dhurke is indeed dead. However, what if it was Dhurke who killed Minister Inga while being channeled by Miss Faye? And while the crime could have occurred at 2 PM, you have yet to substantively prove it. Or do you have conclusive proof that the time of Minister Inga's death was at 2 PM? Well, no, I don't, but... It seems further testimony will be required of me. As it would appear that I have fallen under suspicion, I would like to state my case. Prosecutor Ahlbi, the rebellion must be snuffed out once and for all. You must prove Dhurke Ahlbi to be the foul murderer that he was. And every last insurgent and their sympathizers must be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act. As you wish, Your Eminence. Why isn't Nayuda doing this? Khura'in shouldn't have him under her thumb anymore. Amara's not a hostage, so what gives? Nayuda, what's left to chain you to her like this?
Very well then. Queen Amara, please proceed with your additional testimony.
And so the case continues. You have no proof. Maybe. Well done, lawyer. You have painted me as a killer with nothing but your silver tongue. However, you have no evidence proving your distasteful theory. Furthermore, Dhurke could have committed the crime while being channeled by Miss Faye. Now let us end this charade, and more. And bring the animals forth for the eternal glory of Khura'in and his people.
Don't strike them with lightning again.
Do you understand now, you putrid pepper? There is no point in defending Dhurke any longer. It has all been in vain. Let it go and move on, right?
Well, not today. Also, if I lose, I still die.
Your theories are but a pillar of salt that crumbles at the slightest breeze. But no more. This ends here and now.
The defense may proceed with its cross-examination.
Time to begin the press, then. Well done, lawyer. You have painted me as a killer with nothing but your silver tongue.
Don't see anything useful coming from this.
Hold it!
Convincing others is all part of a lawyer's trade, so I'll take that as a compliment. You would, wouldn't you? I suppose you have deceived countless souls with your lies. But I should not be surprised, considering you learned from... him.
Him? You mean Dhurke, right?
Yes, the man who deceived and seduced me, a grand priestess, with his silver tongue.
We are still talking about the case, right?
Surely you have heard of a lady falling for the wrong man before? Ah, but to think that I, of all people, would fall under that devil's spell.
Wow, how did they ever get together in the first place? Let alone procreate?
I would advise all here today to beware this lawyer's silver tongue, lest you too be unjustly painted as a criminal as I have been. However, you have no evidence proving your distasteful theory.
A challenge? I admit I don't have any solid evidence. Yet. But you're the only one who could have committed the crime.
What on earth do you mean? Including Miss Faye, there are only 3 spirit mediums in Khura'in. Furthermore, when the crime scene was first discovered, Queen Galan was with me and Mr. Wright, while Miss Faye was tied up in the tomb. That means the Dhurke we saw after the minister's murder could only have been channeled by you, Queen Amara. Instant lawyer!
Ah! Forgive us your mercifulness!
Really, Your Majesty? But have you considered the following defense? What if there was, unbeknownst to us, another spirit medium in Khura'in?
Objection!
Oh, come on! What are the chances? You lack the evidence to support your claim that Queen Amara is the killer, which is why you have to use the process of elimination to zero in on her. It therefore stands to reason that you would have to rule out all other possibilities as well. Well, can you eliminate the possibility of another spirit medium defense? Of course I can! Under the circumstances, Apollo, there are 2 ways to establish Amara's guilt. We either prove she killed Inga, or prove she was in the tomb. Which one I can actually prove? Yes, so this is the challenge. Well, at this point, we don't actually know concrete who killed Inga, so why would we even go with that? But to prove she was in the tomb might be very possible. I can prove that Queen Amara was in the tomb when the murder occurred. It seems you're ever bent on painting me as the killer. Well, if the shoe fits. Very well, let's see some evidence to prove I was at the scene of the crime. You do have some, do you not? I do. There's nothing to prove I was even at the scene of the crime. So, what am I going for? Is that an added statement? I think that's an added statement. There was nothing to prove I was even at the scene of the crime. Well, which one am I presenting to is the question. Right. It's this picture. Not that I'm possibly presenting, because that was there. But it's something that makes you reminds you of something else. Something's been laid to rest, almost lovingly, on his chest. Something that we did find another have to. Because its design is 2 butterflies, blue one and a pink one. Are they 2 halves of the same thing? Well, one was covered in blood, and I'm guessing they're going by gender colours, aren't they? Blue for boy, pink for a girl. Pink fits with their blue and fits with their clothes as well, I guess. But is that what's gone on here? Basically, both pendants were there, and they were both love pendants for each other. One kept one kept the other. It's half pendants, right?
Objection!
Queen Amara. Does this pendant look familiar to you? Why? That is... We found it in the tomb, and it has the minister's blood on it. Which means it was probably dropped in the course of the crime.
Objection!
And I failed to see how it is relevant to your argument. Did that not belong to the accused? That's what I thought too. After all, Dhurke has said it did himself. He said that? Yes, but it was a lie. Because I believe he was covering for someone. Covering? How? For who? There is a certain piece of evidence that shows the pendant isn't Dhurke's. I should have gone the other way, because it's the last piece there. That's Dhurke's pendant.
Take that!
That's a photo of the accused's body, is it not?
Yes, it is. And I'd like to call your attention to a certain spot in it. This right here proves that the pendant that was found in the tomb wasn't Dhurke's.
Take that!
Gotta have sound effects. you will notice an object near Dhurke's left arm. It's an identical pendant, except it's blue.
Oh, now that you mention it.
Don't you find that a little strange? Why would he own two of them, but in different colours? Here's what I think. The pendants were meant to go together as a pair. A pair? If the blue pendant was Dhurke's, then what about this pink one with Minister Inga's blood on it? Who do you suppose it belongs to?
Objection.
Sorry to disappoint, but no fingerprints were found on the pink pendant. Therefore, we have no way of knowing to whom it belongs.
Objection.
Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Samari. I'm guessing you didn't know this pendant is actually a locket. Come again. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When we open this locket up, we found a faint fingerprint inside, on the back of the lid to be exact.
Oh, I forgot about that bit. What?
No! So now the question is, to whom does the fingerprint belong? Queen Amara. It belongs to you, doesn't it? Ooh. It seems I've truly rendered the witness speechless this time around. This cannot be! Mother, tell me it does not belong to you! Neuta, Think about it, Queen Amara. Dhurke must have realised that you were channeling his spirit. And he had probably already figured out who the minister's killer was. And yet, he still claimed that the pink pendant belonged to him. But why would he do such a thing? You really don't know. He was protecting you. Because he loved you. He loved you until his very last breath and beyond. I have one more big secret. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. Dhurke knew everything, even that he was being used. But he kept quiet, all for your sake. Dhurke, why do you always... Well, Queen Amara, Dhurke, the one whose love for you never wavered all these years. Are you gonna betray him now? Dhurke, Ah! A softening of expression? This cannot be. I refuse to accept it. Queen Amara, are you ready to confess your crime? I can deny it no longer. The truth is, it was I, Amara Sigurta Khura'in, who slew Minister Inga. That's preposterous! Why?
This is beyond belief.
Mother, why would you... Forgive me, Neuta. I never wished to cause you such sorrow. But I had no choice. It was the only way. The only way?
So, in the end, Queen Amara and Dhurke had money. I suppose this means that they were unable to reconcile while he was still alive.
I don't think the state of the kingdom or the incidents of the past would have allowed that. They are prisoners of their shared history, so to speak. Queen Amara, there's something I need to know. You were stationed near Perfect Crime. So why did you bring this pendant into the tomb with you? You should have known it could come back to haunt you. I do not really understand it myself. I had nearly been assassinated by my own husband, yet I could not bear any hatred towards him. I was unable to discard this or part with it for even a short time. As with Dhurke, I have never stopped loving my husband for the past 23 years. Mother. So she really believes it, that Dhurke tried to assassinate her. Alright, the pink butterfly pendant has been updated in the court record. Sounds like something I'll have to use again. Your Majesty, is it not time? Time to declare Dhurke innocent. I would ask that you do this for my beloved, who now dwells in the Twilight Realm.
Very well then. Your Eminence, Lockets Ahlbi, if you have no further objections.
This cannot be. My mother! I have no objections. Dhurke, I did it. I finally did it. I proved your innocence. But...
Very well then. Being that Queen Amara yet lives, we can no longer charge the accused with an assassination that never come to fruition. As for the murder of Minister Inga, the truth had been laid bare for all to see. Therefore, I will now pass judgment upon the accused, Mr. Dhurke Ahlbi.
Your benevolence. I cannot accept this.
Is something the matter, your benevolence?
Queen Amara is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. What's with her all of a sudden? Is this some sort of lingering affection towards Nana? Rafa. Speak the truth, Queen Amara. Did you really kill my father? Yes. There is no mistake.
She has confessed to the crime, thereby clearing the accused of all suspicion. As such, I see no need to continue these proceedings.
Barbed head, hornhead, are you going to let this stand? Dhurke's been proven innocent, and he's about to be declared not guilty. Even so, something doesn't feel right. Apollo, if you have any doubts, now's the time to raise them. After all, the courtroom is a place for finding the whole truth. But it's all up to you. There are definitely things that don't quite add up. Does this mean that the whole truth hasn't been brought to light yet? Should I push to continue this trial? Yes. Why would we let it end? Your Majesty, I have a feeling we haven't discovered the whole truth. And the only way we'll ever find it is to continue this trial. Hornhead!
Very well then. Will the defense please tell us this? What important fact about this case has yet to come to light?
The murder method, the motive, Amara's married life. Option B, I think personally. Why would you kill Inga? Queen Amara, there's something I still don't understand. What was your motive for killing Justice Minister Inga? That is a fair question, and one that I shall now answer. It was for the future of this kingdom that I slew Inga called Khura'in. To avert further tragedy, his death was an unfortunate necessity. Further tragedy? Over the past several years, Minister Inga has been rapidly expanding his power. He had established a secret police and was relentless in his pursuit of the insurgents. He even had the overwhelming support of the people, but still he was not satisfied. Hungry for more power, he began planning a coup d'etat. You mean his plot involving the Founder's Orb, which led to Maya Fey's abduction? Yes, Minister Inga planned to use the orb to gain access to great spiritual power, after which he would assassinate Khura'in and usurp the throne. His machinations were reminiscent of that terrible tragedy of 23 years ago, and as one affected by that incident, Amara vowed to never allow a repeat of such events. Yes, and the Holy Mother delivered unto me the perfect opportunity to fulfill my vow. Security amid the courtyard was rather light due to the rite of channeling, and Inga had barricaded himself in the tomb with his hostage, away from prying eyes. I knew I would never again have such a perfect opportunity, so at 2 PM, during the rite of channeling, I slipped into the tomb and slew the minister. My bracelet! Apollo. Yep. It seems his trial is far from over. Queen Amara, I believe you're still hiding something. But if you want to keep on playing this game of hide and seek, then let's start with that last statement you made. If I must, it's time to perceive. If anything, this tail's got to be somewhere around her hands, just because the way she... Oh, basically she's holding stuff. Oh no, it is! Is that it? Well, we don't know if that's the same at this point. I was thinking it'd be her hands because she always twiddles her hands when she's uncomfortable, but there we go. Either it's the lack or it's that there. She's a fidgeter. Essentially, that's what she is. She fidgets. I guess with poker, you'll tell it would be pretty easy for everyone when you start rubbing your cards like that.
Gotcha!
Queen Amara, you're not very comfortable talking about the 2 o'clock rite of channeling, are you? I can tell because the finger on your left hand twitched almost imperceptibly when you did. Oh? And that pose you make, is there something about your chest that makes you nervous? Whatever do you mean? The murder occurred at 2 PM, and I'm pretty positive Amara was in the tomb at that time. So then why is she so self-conscious about her chest when she talks about the rite? The rite of channeling? Didn't Ahlbi snap a picture of it? Queen Amara, I have here a picture of the rite of channeling. It was secretly taken by a certain individual.
Objection!
Such insolence! I would have the perpetrator's name at once. Sorry, no can do. You see, I just happened to find it on the ground, so... Do you take me for a fool? How about we discuss the photo's origin a little later, because right now... there's something much more pressing at hand. I believe this photo merits further examination. I just wish there was more to see in it than darkness and more darkness. We might be able to make out a few more details with some image adjustments. Let's ask Emma if she can help.
Bailiff, please summon Detective Sky to the Hall of Justice.
Here you are. I was able to obtain a much clearer image by raising the brightness. Oh. What's that right there? An injury? No, wait. I think it's a burn scar. Wait a second. Your Eminence. You don't have a burn scar like that on your chest.
My costume! It foils me!
What's going on here? If the person in this photo isn't Queen Khura'in, then who is it? Well, who would you expect?
Take that!
Burns and all. Queen Amara, the person in this photo isn't Queen Khura'in. It's you posing as her, isn't it? The two of you look quite similar, but that's no surprise considering your sisters. Even the shape and position of your facial tattoos are almost exactly the same. And you are both capable of channeling spirits. Therefore, it would have been easy for you to impersonate Queen Khura'in. Queen Amara, you have a burn scar on your chest, don't you? Please remove your round mandala so we can see what's behind it for ourselves. Well, a climactic point do we reach. This opens another possibility for murderer. Another person that was around and someone was tied up during the time that could possibly have murdered anyone at all. So let's delve deeper next time on Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.